I get so much done in a day across business, personal life, and my fitness goals. I don't even feel fucking human. I feel like Bradley Cooper in Limitless. But it never used to be like this. I went self-employed in 2021, and between then and 2023, I was doing 12 to 14 hour days, 6, sometimes 7 days a week, and I still felt like there wasn't enough hours in the day. I even lost 2 relationships in this time, and I'm not proud of that, but it was a legit battle that I was losing. And with what I know now and how I set my day up, hindsight is always 2020. It's very clear to me that it was never a time issue, right? It was a personal issue. I was unfocused, I had a scattered mind, I allowed distractions into my life, I didn't protect my energy, and how I used to set up fitness took time, energy, and focus away from me instead of creating it, which is what it does now. Fitness and everything that comes with it, everything that falls under that umbrella, is literally the heartbeat of my productivity and why I'm able to maintain flow state and get so much done. So in this video, I'm going to take you through a full day in my life through the frame of why do I do this for flow state? Why do I do this for focus and clarity? Don't just passively engage with this video. Watch it with intention and think, right, okay, what am I going to do differently off the back? Let's start with the morning process. You have to win the morning every morning. This is going to give you the foundation for flow state. The first thing, get up early. This is a win in and of itself. It's a disciplined act. You don't have to do it, but you do it anyway. Once I'm up, I get ready, I do all that trivial shit, and then I hydrate with electrolytes and creatine, and then I'm straight into breath work. It's nothing complicated, just box breathing, 5 minutes. I'm just connecting my body and mind at this point. Then I move into alignment. So I'm making sure what I'm thinking, what I believe, and how I act are all pointing in the same direction. I expose myself to the standard that I'm trying to live by, expose what that current gap is and what I'm currently not doing, and then I embody it throughout the day. Then I'll read for 30 minutes, which is one of my 7 habits, and then it's time to go to the gym. Now, my gym is 30 minutes away. There's many other gyms closer that are more convenient, but this is the best facility. That's a price that is more than worth paying. Just train at the best facility that you have access to. If you need to get up earlier, just fucking get up earlier to make it work. I want you to think in this video about the word momentum, because for me, momentum and flow state go hand in hand. And on the drive there and back, I don't want to break momentum. So I've had a powerful morning. I've set the tone, I've set the intention. I don't want to allow my mind to wander in those 30 minutes. So I'm either doing audiobook, podcast, some more education, or I'm just staying in the game mentally. And what I mean by that is like either just being present, not just having tunes blasting and just letting my mind wander aimlessly, or I'm thinking about life, I'm thinking about business, I'm thinking about new content ideas. So when I arrive at the gym, I'm still in that headspace and that frame of, right, I'm attacking the day. This shit is getting taken seriously. Now I use fitness as a vehicle to hold myself to a higher personal standard, but not as the main event. And I know that sounds contradictory because I'm coaching people, but this is an important distinction to make because my priority is growing my business and improving my life. Training has to support that. It can't sabotage it. I've done 100-mile races, I've done sub-3 marathon, I've done high rocks, I've done Ironman. I've gone to the lengths of extreme training blocks whilst running a business as someone that's self-employed, and I can tell you right now, it's very, very hard to come back and be productive when you're putting yourself through hell in a morning. And yes, that has to be done for the event, and I'm not saying I'll never do events again. I will. That's something that I love to do, but it's not productive to be training that way all the time. So I make sure my training doesn't put me in a hole first thing in the morning. If I leave the gym feeling lethargic or foggy, or I've had a shitload of fucking caffeine so early on and I feel like I'm crashing on the way home, I've already lost the day, right? My output is going to be nowhere near as high. That doesn't mean I train soft. It just means that I train smart. Physique development and performance are still my priority, right? I love fitness. I love the gym. I love training. Don't confuse what I'm saying here. I just remove junk volume and unnecessary fatigue so I can come back, and when I enter the first work block of the day, I'm high energy, I'm focused, and I'm still clear-minded. Right now I train 4 strength days a week, 2 hard working sets per exercise, and I'm in and out within 60 minutes. Still maximizing stimulus for growth and progression, but minimizing drain on energy. Now within the week, I also layer in conditioning. So I do one zone 2 session and one HIIT session. Now the HIIT session is the only one where I feel pretty fucked after, but I just do this on a weekend, so it doesn't really impact my Monday to Friday. Training's always done in a morning because it's a priority, right? But also on top of that, all of the things that I've already told you that I've done is complete by 7 a.m. And then when I get home, it's time for meal 1. I'm very precise with how I spread my macronutrients through the day as it relates to maintaining focus. So in the morning, I go high protein, high fat, and then low or even no carbs sometimes. It depends on how high my calories are and how high my carbohydrates are at that given point in the training phase. Right now, I do have some carbs in the morning, but I'm making sure that it isn't super heavy. When you eat carbs, insulin spikes, and then a couple of hours later, we get a bit of a crash in blood sugar. And everyone's experienced this, right? It's kind of that midday dip. Now, what most people do in this scenario is cover it up with stimulants. Now, I use both of these. I'm going to talk about that a little bit more as we move through the day and tell you about timing of it. But when you use stimulants, when you've crashed or when you're feeling low on energy, you're kind of just masking the problem. You're papering the cracks, right? And all they do is just pull you back up to baseline. So if we're super hydrated, if we consume the right food in the morning, we don't have that crash. When you use those stimulants, you're not just getting yourself back up to baseline, you're now going above, which is the point of everyone drinking caffeine and using like nicotine or snus. But when I eat like this in the morning, I feel sharper, I feel clearer, and I'm just ready. I feel so fucking ready after going to the gym, doing my morning process to get stuck into that first morning work block. And the first work block is my deep focus block. Physiologically at this point, I'm primed, right? I'm high energy, I'm high frequency from training, from nutrition, just from the whole morning process. But psychologically, I'm also very clear. It's early on in the day. I haven't made loads of decisions. I barely touch my phone at this point, and I've maintained that frame in my mind from the alignment all the way through the gym and then meal 1 of who I need to be and what I need to be doing. I'm ready to dial the fuck in. And because I'm in this state to do highly productive work, I must capitalize on it. Now, how do you do that? What are you working on? Now, this is a personal organization thing. So I have like my own system and setup with Monday.com, Trello, and some of these other kind of tools that you've probably heard of. There has to be some form of review process and assessment of, right, what are all the things that I have to do, not just today, but all of the things that need to get done? And then how are you ordering them in terms of priority? What I'm trying to do in the morning is get the most high priority tasks done, the needle moving tasks. The idea with it is, and I kind of live by this personally and professionally as well, weekly and daily, of front loading, right? Get as much done early on in the week as you can, get as much done early on in the day as you can as well whilst you're fresh. If I just got that task done in the morning, the one task, right? You keep it very simple, and my personal blueprint, which is my fitness, my habits and all of that, the alignment reflection, it would be a very successful day because I've personally progressed and my business has progressed as well. Now, I'm always looking to add to that later in the afternoon when I do the afternoon work block, but if something cropped up and I couldn't work in the afternoon, which never really happens, I've already got done the most important things, right? So I'm already accomplished by the time it gets to like midday. I feel like the day's been a success. Today I went and worked at a coffee shop, which I like to do quite frequently. I just like to change up my environment. I find for creativity, coming up with new content ideas, I like changing up my environment. I feel like it just breaks the pattern-based thinking that we often have when I'm like working in this room. Once I'm at the coffee shop and I'm getting stuck into the work block, that is when I layer in these, okay? I only really use these in a morning in that block. To supplement that, phone on Do Not Disturb, laptop on Do Not Disturb if you've got a MacBook, obviously it connects to your phone. Phones away, put your phone in your bag, noise blocking headphones, some kind of, for me anyway, like ADHD focus, high frequency music that is actually the exact one that I use is the backing track to this video, and I'm going to turn it up for a few seconds here so you can hear it. I lock the fuck in when I'm listening to this and I'm stimmed up, caffeine, nicotine. Our brains, like many things, aren't designed to just go 100 miles an hour all the time. So midday, I have a break even if I don't want a break. Most of the time I don't want a break. I'm in flow and I kind of want to just sit there and crap workout, but I will end up dipping and kind of being a little bit foggier later on. So I have a break, I go out and do steps, I have a 10k step goal every single day, no matter what. It's just a non-negotiable. Gets you away from the desk, gets you outside, but it also gives you another opportunity to consume information, podcast, audiobook, or just be present. No music, no headphones, just walking, just being present, kind of resetting and coming back then in a much more refreshed mental state for the afternoon work block. Now, the afternoon work block is very different to the morning work block. Lighter tasks, less brain energy or power demanding, right? Low hanging fruit, the low priority, non-urgent tasks on my monday.com on my to-do list. Things that I can just write a list and just go bang, 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 like just tick them off. The things that, for me anyway, they always accumulate and there's just loads of them, right? But they don't take a lot of time. It's just the volume that accumulates that you look at and you go, fucking hell, I've got a lot to do. When you actually break it down, you don't have a lot to do. These tasks don't take long at all. And you put them off and you put them off and you put them off. If you can move those into the afternoon work block and you just go, right, okay, 60-minute timer. I also use one of these. Again, headphones on, phone out the room, no distractions, write your list, bang, 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 get them all ticked off. The other things that I do in the afternoon is like strategizing, thinking, just being a little bit more kind of creative. And I do my one-to-one calls with tier 2 guys in the afternoon as well. It's just always a nice way to spend the back half of the day catching up with the guys. The reason why today was a success and why I maintain flow state is because of the evening before. Sleep is a huge one. 7 hours minimum. They say 8. I find 7 minimum to be good enough. Sleep hygiene, no screens, no phone or anything, 60 minutes before bed. Do some form of breath work, turn the lights down low. Reading always kind of sends me very sleepy. I often find myself reading the book and kind of nodding off and then just put the book down. I'm straight off to bed, which is perfect. But then also things like small things, they make such a difference. I pack my bag the night before for the gym, right? I pack my bag, I make sure my keys are by the door, make sure my shoes are by the door, my bag is all packed, my clothes are laid out. I don't have to think about that in the morning. My to-do list is written the night before every single time. That gives me a fresh kind of viewpoint on, right, what needs to be done tomorrow, rather than getting into the day and then feeling rushed and like, oh fuck, I'll just put a to-do list together really quick. You never identify which the highest priority tasks are when you do it in that fashion. If you take the time the night before, it's like, right, okay, the day hasn't even begun yet, that's tomorrow. Let me just assess what's been done today, what did I miss? Let me look at monday.com, let me look at Trello, where are we at? Has something come up today that I need to address tomorrow? Okay, yeah, that's the most high priority task. Then I do some form of reflection, very, very, very important, right? What did I learn today? What didn't go well? What would I change tomorrow? What went really well? What are the wins? Acknowledge them and then show gratitude for that. Gratitude is a state that you just want to be in all the fucking time. I have not got time or any fucking tolerance anymore to be around people that are just walking around fucking miserable. We've all got shit that we're dealing with. Life isn't perfect for anyone, but people that are just constantly fucking negative, I can't do it, right? You have to cut these people off. Protect your energy. There is so much to be grateful for in life. And I used to look at people that would talk about gratitude and just say, oh, I'm so thankful to be alive. And I used to think, you cheesy bastard. Like, that's just so fake. I don't want anything to do with that. But then you realize, like, there is. Everything you think is a problem is a minor inconvenience. And when you perceive it as a problem, it just grows and festers into a real problem or a bigger inconvenience. How blessed am I to have another opportunity at this, to grow my business, to talk to people, to go to the gym, to make this video, all the things that you should be grateful for. You end up sleeping way better. And then it just starts the whole process again. It just puts you in a good mood. But there's one thing that hasn't been included in this video, guys, and it underpins everything. Mission, purpose, calling, however you want to look at it. I'm very, very clear in my head what I'm working towards and why I want it. It's always at the forefront of my mind. I've connected a lot of emotion to the thing that I'm working towards and the life that I'm trying to leave behind as well, because I've had a turbulent time in the past. So I have this thing pulling me forward and I have this thing pushing me. The more connection you have to that, the more it's on your mind. And when it's on your mind, it's hard to not be in flow state. So yeah, the things that I've shown you today, go away and implement them. They will absolutely work. I can guarantee it. They will improve your day. But the real superpower is getting very clear on what you're working towards. There's a quote from a guy called Robert Heinlein. In the absence of clearly defined goals, we become strangely loyal to trivia until ultimately we become enslaved by it. Most of the world, if you look at their day-to-day lives, it's just doing shit for other people. They're not doing anything to move their life forward. This reality, this blessing that we've been given is an open game. You can do whatever you fucking want. And my life now is based on experience. I was skiing last week. I was at Rise Fest. It just becomes clearer every time I do something like that I'm like, yeah, this is why I'm doing it. This is why I'm fucking working so hard. This is why I'm up at 4:30 every day. This is why I'm saying no to parties. This is why I'm being so fucking disciplined with the information that I allow in, with the people that I allow into my life, because it all feeds back to me and what I'm trying to achieve and the life I'm trying to create. And that alone, right, is just something that will fester and fester and fester, and you can't ignore it. And then flow state is pretty much just something that you have, and life feels effortless, because that's what flow state is, right? If you've ever played sports, or maybe you haven't played it but you watch it and you see a player, or you've experienced it yourself maybe, in flow state, it's just effortless. They're not even thinking. It's like an out of body experience, right? That's what life should be, especially when you're working on something meaningful. It should just be like you're floating through the day, just kind of like conscious but not even conscious that you're working. And that's how I feel. So that is how I set my day up for flow state, and I hope you guys can take something away from that and apply it. And I'd love to hear any feedback as well. If you do apply it, what impact did it have? We're at 126 subscribers right now, so we've got 999,974 to go. Road to 1 million. It is happening. Have a fucking blessed weekend.